Hi, I'm Terry Gallagher, founder and president of Gallagher & Consultants, and thrilled to interview through the magic of technology on a $10 editing budget with Fiverr because we believe in the gig workforce, Kanita Harris-Brown, who is a valued member of our consulting ecosystem and a disruptor in her own right as a founder of KH Bound Solutions, who provides procurement and contingent workforce program management advisory services. So welcome to episode number 7, Gig Workforce Solutions 4 and 4. 4 tips in 4 minutes to elevate your gig workforce strategy. So today's episode is all about you, the staffing provider. The heartbeat of any contingent workforce program or talent strategy solution. You provide the talent. Pretty crucial to any operation. Kanita will give you tips on how you can dominate in an RFP process and what the buyer is really looking for, having been on the buyer side as procurement executives for blue chip companies like Halliburton, IBM, Procter & Gamble. So question number 1, Kanita, what weight do you place on a supplier's written response versus an in-person meeting?
In my experience, the written response is a supplier's gateway to the in-person meeting and is usually used to shortlist suppliers. So there is a good amount of weight applied to the quality of the written response. However, the in-person meeting provides procurement and the business with a better understanding of a few things that you just don't always get in writing. 1 is alignment to the client's culture and values. 2 is how well the organizations might work together as partners. And 3, the depth of the supplier's knowledge of the client as well as their expertise in the industry. Now, each client organization will have their own weighting, but my advice is for suppliers to put their best foot forward in every part of the RFP process. Perceptions about their capabilities and fit are being developed at every step.
Thank you. That's a great response. And agreed, while the written response is important, there is feedback you can only get from a staffing supplier in person. So given that, how important is it to have a prior relationship with a supplier who is bidding?
In an RFP evaluation process, not having a prior relationship is basically neutral from a scoring standpoint, but having one could be a major positive or a negative. It's human nature for us to lean towards the people and the things that are most familiar. If trust has already been established between the organizations and there's an existing track record of good performance, clearly incumbency has an edge. However, if the incumbent has significant gaps that can be filled in the market, anything is possible. The more a new supplier can understand about the existing relationship dynamics, the better they can craft a response that will address those gaps.
So that's interesting. The relationship is perceived as neutral. So speaking of relationships, which are so important, and written responses, how important are references really? I mean, do customers really check them or take them seriously?
References can hurt a supplier, but they're not likely to win them any business. A client's general assumption is that suppliers are astute enough to provide references that are going to say good things about them, much like job seekers in an application process. They are more likely to look to peers in the industry for candid feedback about a supplier as opposed to references provided via an RFP. As a result, I know it's a big surprise, but many times the references are never contacted. By asking for references, the client may be trying to understand the supplier's client list as well as benchmark best practices in the business. A smart strategy for a supplier is to reference an organization where they have implemented an approach they feel could be reapplied to the client's business. Any reference should be able to demonstrate that the supplier has done their research on the client and has applicable experience that can benefit them.
Interesting. So at best, references are neutral and at worst can possibly hurt the relationship or perception. So Kanita, how do you ultimately choose a supplier who has earned your trust?
While every selection process has its nuances, there are some common factors associated with winning a business award. Suppliers that win business have demonstrated strong capability, robust people, process, and technology, a well thought out approach to the business, and they know how to deliver good overall value. While I was a buyer, there were a couple things I looked for when determining if I could trust a supplier to award business. One was authenticity. A supplier that says they can deliver the world actually decreases my trust and confidence in their capability. I have a much greater respect for suppliers who are transparent and realistic about what they can and can't do. I know that any half-truths will eventually catch up to them and the organization. 2, the time and effort they put into the RFP response itself. It should be error-free, edited, and fully answer the questions asked. They should adhere to all instructions given, including communication, deadlines, and format. Organizations that follow instructions and show attention to detail go a long way in building my confidence about how well we might work together in the future.
Great responses, Kanita. Thank you so much. We agree also. Authenticity, transparency, and putting in the time and effort for a tangible response will put you above the competition. Clients can tell when you have cut and paste syndrome. So that's it, folks. 4 tips in 4 minutes for how suppliers can dominate an RFP. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like to learn more about Gallagher & Consultants and how we can transform your gig and contingent workforce strategy, please contact me at terry@gallagherandconsultants.com or our website www.gallagherandconsultants.com, or if you'd like to learn more from Kanita, you can contact her directly at khbrown@khbrownsolutions.com or go to her website www.khbrownsolutions.com. Enjoy the rest of your day.